Okay, welcome back to Brian Knows Movies. This is a quick discussion about Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. This film comes out here just a few days, March 31st on Friday, and it is a movie that I had a lot of fun in. It centers around Chris Pine, who plays a bard. He sings and he plays the lute, but also he is a type of CIA type of operative, I guess. He's a spy. But through his work, his wife ends up getting killed, and it turns him into a guy who just wants to get along and make some money for his family, his daughter, now that he's a widow, and just take care of himself. So instead of continuing to do good, he starts to rob people, specifically rich people, with a group of friends. His best friend is a barbarian played by Michelle Rodriguez. She's basically the muscle. You have Justin Smith, who's playing a sorcerer. A bunch of other characters are there as well. But anyway, they end up stealing something they're not supposed to steal, and that messes up everything. They end up going to prison, get out of prison, and like, okay, let's right this wrong. I need to go save my daughter, and I need to go save the land. So basically, you have a group of people who are trying to save the world. So what makes it different from all these other fantasy adventure type of films is that the writing is so snappy. It's so in your face in terms of it's winking a nod to the camera and knows what type of film it is. It's written by Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly. I'm going to call them the two Johns. I don't know if anybody else has called them that before, but hey, I like their work. They did Game Night a few years ago, which was a surprise hit. It was funny. It was sharp in terms of the dialogue, just like this film. And it's the main reason I was excited about this film. And the writing does not disappoint. They make this world of Dungeons and Dragons, which people might be a little bit intimidated by. You know, this game that's been around forever and there has this really intense fan base. Do I need to understand the world of Dungeons and Dragons? And no, you don't. They make it very accessible. The world building that they do in the film, the spells, the lore, all those different types of things. They mention it, but they mention it and they use in such a way in the dialogue that it's very easy to grab. And also, at the end of the day, it's not really that important to the main story that they're trying to tell here. What also makes this movie fun is that the characters are so charismatic. Chris Pine is still a superstar. And then Michelle Rodriguez, one of the best action female leads that we've had. Her and Chris Pine are so good together. Justin Smith as the sorcerer. You feel bad for him, and you also are like, come on, man, you got to kind of believe in yourself. You find yourself arguing with everybody else. Hey, if you just believe in yourself, you can kind of probably kick ass in this. Hugh Grant, amazing like normal. He's been playing for the last few years now these characters that are swarmy and slimy and bad guys and just icky. They're not really intimidating, but they just kind of make your spine tingle. But he's also so funny in these films. He's been doing this with Guy Ritchie for a couple of years now. He brings that same energy here. He's having a blast with the film, which makes you want to have a blast with it as well, and you root for him to lose. Regé-Jean Page, seen stealing as the paladin, this straightforward, straight as an arrow, no sense of humor type of character that just doesn't gel with anybody on the team because he's so, I want to say, full of himself, because you find yourself being swooned by him, but also like, okay, you are doing way too much. But he's so heroic that it's hard not to be like, okay, I see why they don't like you, but I also see why they love you in this film. It's just hard to explain how good he is. If you're big into these fantasy movies, you're going to see references or connections or homages to movies like The Princess Bride and Willow and Robin Hood, Men in Tights, and you name it. There's something, a little trinket there you can see in this film, and yet it still feels original. Listen, Dungeons and Dragons, I know that's a name that turns people off. I know that the Marlon Wayans movie especially was not very well received. This is a fun film. Is it a see it, stream it, or skip it for me? Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is a see it all the way for me. I'm giving it 4 stars. If you're wanting to see a film that is wholly original in terms of the story beats, this is not for you. But the reason you come to the film is because of the execution of this cast, the execution of the script, and how much fun you have with all of these characters finding themselves along the way for this journey. I understand that John Wick Chapter 4 just came out last week, and you're probably going to want to see that if you haven't seen it yet, or you might want to go rewatch it this weekend because it's just that good. It's one of the best action movies of the past 5 years. I originally gave it 4.5 stars. I moved it up to 5. So if you're planning to see that over Dungeons and Dragons, I get it. But let me make a plea that you eventually return to this film and check it out in theaters, because the bigger the crowd that's with you, if you're with friends or if there's a lot of people in that theater, the better the experience is going to be. I saw this in a packed theater. Everybody laughed at the same spots. Everybody jumped at the same jump scares. Everybody rooted when they were supposed to root for the hero. And it's just so rare to have those experiences in the theater. Although, because the theaters are coming back and people are coming back to movies, I'm starting to have that more and more and more, which I'm really, really excited about. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy that loves movies. If you're planning to see Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, please let me know in the comment section below what you thought of it. And come back and check me out. I'm so sorry that I had some issues with See It on Tuesday. Something happened with my live stream where it was not projecting on YouTube, but it is recorded, and I put that video out now. You can find it there in the box or in the description below. I had a great conversation with Desmund of Two Black Nerds about the state of cinema. We had one of the film criticism giants, A.O. Scott, retire from film criticism for various reasons, and we talk about those reasons and give our opinions on if he's right, wrong, or otherwise. A lot of gray is in that conversation. I think that it's a great conversation to listen to. I had a lot of fun doing it. Please check that out. Thank you so much for continuing to support me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you at the theaters next week.